start in a seated position to center. So even though this is not technically a yoga class, I still have to get a little breath work in and centering, because I think we could all use a little bit of stillness. So go ahead and find yourself on your mat in a cross-legged or comfortable seated position. For the grown-ups in the crowd, my grown-up athletes, I usually sit on a block or a pillow because it feels better on my hips. Please no old lady jokes for that. So finding your proper alignment while you're seated, that's ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Draw the belly button in just a little bit. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Sitting up nice and tall, so crown of the head up towards the sky. Start maybe even closing the eyes or bringing the gaze right in front of your cross-legged position. Start to soften the skin of the face. Maybe with your lips closed, bring a little separation between the top and bottom teeth. Just allow a softness to wash over your body. Start noticing the breath. And just by noticing it, see if it slows down naturally. If anything feels uncomfortable in the body, see if you can make small adjustments to see if you can become a little bit more comfortable. Taking just a couple of minutes to breathe. We're going to work with the four-part breath or box breath. So it'll be inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling for 4, holding for 4. So this is a really, I usually teach the 3-part breath as a regular. This is a 4-part, 4 count. 4 count in, 4 count hold, 4 count out, 4 count hold. So keeping your eyes closed and the softness in your body, start at the bottom. So taking a deep breath in through your nose, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Continuing on your own for 2 more cycles. And as you finish, just wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back to your space. Slowly opening the eyes, dropping one ear to the shoulder, extending the other hand down towards the floor. Take a breath here. Slowly coming back to neutral, switching sides. Coming back to neutral. So as we're practicing through the stretches today, really keep your breath going. So there's no pain in yoga, there's no pain in stretching. If something feels off or painful in the body, dial it back a little bit. You can always come out of the stretch. We're doing a lot of planks today, so if it gets to be too much, you can always take a child's pose. That is a yoga pose. And I'll show that to you. Or just bring the body down and give yourself a break. So our regular routine is off. So just be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. And let's go ahead and get started. Maybe rolling the shoulders up, back, and down a couple of times. And forward. And since we will be doing a series of planks, bringing the palms together at heart center, and just sending the hands down warming up those wrists. And then bringing them back up, turning the hands back to back, and then sending them down again. Coming back up, maybe rolling the wrists in one direction and the other. Good. And then coming into tabletop, and from tabletop, we're gonna do a couple of more warm-up, just because the plank series is really strong. I wanna make sure that your spine is nice and warmed up. So coming into the tabletop, that's shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Nice long spine, gazes towards the mat, maybe a micro bend in the elbows. If you hyperextend, like when I put my hands down, my elbow, the inside of my elbow ends up facing forward. It's not really awesome. So give a micro bend to protect that. Bottoms of the feet are connected with the earth, hips over the knees. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, rolling into cat, dropping the chin to the chest, tucking the tailbone under. On your next inhale, coming into cow, tailbone is lifted, eyes are right at the front of the mat. And the next exhale, coming into cat, maybe moving the shoulders back and forth just a little bit. And then on the next inhale, cow pose. Animal noises are optional. And then maybe moving the hips side to side just a little bit. And coming to neutral. Moving right into our plank series. The first one is from tabletop. So again, shoulders over wrists. You'll hear me say this a ton when we do this plank series. Belly button is pulled in to start engaging the core. Shoulders are dropped away from those ears. Nice long spine. So for your tabletop, the tops of the feet are engaged with these. So you're going to be pressing into the mat with the tops of the feet. Engage the core, just lifting the knees up. So pressing into the top of the feet, nice long spine. It doesn't look like much, but I feel my core on fire already. Deep inhales and exhale. Don't hold the breath here. Really soften the jaw. Continue the breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more breath. And on the exhale, releasing to child's pose. Child's pose is the knees out to the long edge of the mat, big toes touching, bottom is released to the heels, stretching the arms out in front, relaxing the forehead down towards the earth. One more breath here. And on the exhale, coming back into tabletop. One more time to do that tabletop hover. Tops of the feet are connected with the mat. Shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees. Inhale, lift the knees off of the mat. Nice long spine, 5 breaths. They can be quick or they can be slow. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And come down, either sitting back on the heels, the bottom to the heels, or taking another child's pose, your choice. So then moving into our forearm plank, we'll be going from forearm plank into dolphin pose. We're gonna hold each for 5 breaths. Really think about shoulders over wrists. And when you're in that plank, shoulders over wrists, but pressing into the heels. So for a forearm, you can have the palms of the hands together. Really think about aligning the shoulders right over the elbows, and then stepping the feet back one at a time, pressing into the heels. Engage the core. See if you can get a nice long spine from the base of the skull all the way down to the tailbone. 5 deep breaths here. Pressing into the heels, you'll feel a great stretch on the back of the legs all the way through the Achilles. And then sending the bottom up, tailbone up. Bring the ears in between the arms and maybe step the feet forward just a little bit for dolphin pose. Ears in between the arms, pressing into the heels. Remember to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And then after your 5th breath, slowly lower back to your forearm. And then see if you can flow for 5 breaths. Nice and slow, coming down into forearm plank, and then pushing the hips up into dolphin. Engage the core. Keep everything strong in your midsection. Ears dropped away from, shoulders dropped away from the ears. And then slowly come to the knees to the long edge of the mat, pushing the bottom to the heels into child's pose. 3 long breaths here. After your 3rd breath, we're coming into full plank. So full plank, again, we're really focusing on getting the shoulders over the wrists. So setting up shoulders over the wrists first, micro, like a little tiny bend in the elbows so that you're not locking the elbows out. And then stepping the legs back straight. Really engage that core, belly button all the way to the backbone. Extend the other leg. Move the hands back so you really can see your shoulders over the wrists. Long spine, 4 more deep breaths. Soften the jaw, deep inhales and exhales. And then after your 5th breath, slowly coming into downward dog. So lifting the tailbone high, moving the feet forward just a little bit, bending the knees to bring the ears in between the arms, sending that tailbone high, pressing into the heels nice and slow, pedal the feet back and forth. You'll feel a great stretch on the back of the legs all the way down to the Achilles. Nice and slow. You can even come up just a little bit on the to stretch that arch on the foot that's not pressed down. So with your downward dog, you really want it to look like an A-frame. So the top of the tailbone is up, ears in between the arms, pressing the heels back. So nice and slow after your 5th breath. I'm guessing you know where we're going. We're coming to full plank. Adjust where you need to, and slowly flow from full plank to downward dog. Nice and slow for 5 breaths. Keep that belly button pulled into the backbone to engage the core. Flow with your inhales and exhales. And then once you are finished with your 5th, your choice, you can either slowly lower from a full plank, or if you have more control over your body, dropping to the knees slowly, bringing the elbows in towards the body, slowly lowering all the way down. One hand on top of the other, forehead to the top of the hand, bending the knees and windshield wipering back and forth. And release. Sliding the hands next to the chest, we're pushing up either into cobra or into up dog. So depending on where you are today, I'm trying to get myself all the way in the, I noticed my head was cut off. So we don't want that. So upward dog is shoulders over wrists, palms of the hands pressed into the mat, tops of the feet pressed into the mat, really pushing the shoulders away from the ears, no reaching the neck up, really keep a nice long sway in the spine, holding for 5. If that's too much, you can come down to cobra pose, so a small bend in the elbows and the tops of the thighs are connected with the mat. Your choice. On the 5th exhale, slowly lower the whole body down. One hand on top of the other, forehead to the top of the hand, windshield wiper those legs back and forth. And release. Coming into baby cobra, so now the hands are right next to the chest, elbows pulled in, either coming up and holding for 5 breaths or flowing for 5 breaths. Jaw is released, skin of the face is soft, body is strong. Deep inhales and exhales. And after your 5th breath, slowly release all the way down. One more time, forehead to the top of the hand, windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And release. Sliding the hands right next to the chest one last time just to push the body up and over using the strength of your arms. And then coming into a child's pose. This time, just to release any pressure from the lower spine, keep the knees together, pushing the bottom towards the heels, and then draping the body over. So forehead to the floor, draping the arms next to the body. So that just opens and stretches out that lower spine just a little bit. Deep inhales and exhales. Release any tension in the jaw so that you're fully releasing and breathing. After your 5th breath, come up to a seated position. So when we were centering, we were talking about sit bones. Those are the bones in the hips that we sit upon. We're going to continue with the core. Time flies, you guys. Only got 10 minutes left. Okay, so from the sit bones, you can feel the bones in your hips connected with the earth. We're going to rock away from those. Nice long spine. So we're going into a boat series. Again, this is something when your abs are fully engaged. Nice long spine, soft jaw so that you can inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Boat pose can be challenging sometimes. I usually just stop halfway. You can go into full boat with the legs fully extended, but if we're going to spend any time there, I usually stop halfway. So my legs are parallel with the floor, palms are facing up, shoulders dropped away from my ears. If this is too much, you can always drop the toes to the mat and still extend the arms, or keep the legs high and just lightly touch your fingertips behind you, elbows tucked in. Your choice of where you want to go today. Nice, tight core, so bring that belly button into the backbone, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Nice long spine. Continue the breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Soften the jaw. One more breath. And slowly exhale with control. Bottoms of the feet are pressed together, and the heels are extended away from the body. So bringing the palms of the hands together, lowering them to the floor, and then sliding the hands underneath the legs. And long spine here, start to lean forward. So still with the nice long spine, deep breaths. Soften the jaw. Inhale through the nose, long, slow exhales. And slowly release. Coming into a butterfly, so now really finding the sit bones. Those are the bones in the hips that should be connected to the earth. And then opening up by pressing, like holding onto the bottoms of the legs, using those elbows to maybe press away the tops of the thighs. The closer the heels are to the hips, the deeper the stretch. You can even open the feet, so the bottom edge of the feet are like the spine of a book. 3 more deep breaths here. Draw the belly button into the backbone. Shoulders dropped away from the ears. Long, slow inhales and exhales. And release. Coming back into a modified boat pose, just to get a little bit, we're adding a little bit more core. So rocking away from those sit bones, nice long spine. Try and keep the bottoms of your feet or the toes connected with the mat. Palms facing up, Belly button pulled all the way into the backbone, slowly lowering down. Taking your time. If you feel like you're getting to that drop zone and the body's just going to collapse, put your arms down. We don't want anybody getting hurt. Nice and slow. Take your time. Tilt that pelvis to help you get through that dead zone. Nice long spine. Continue to breathe. Nice and slow release. All the way down. Taking your right ankle over the left knee, draw that left leg in towards the body. The right elbow is going to push the right thigh away from the body. So we're coming into a figure 4. Extending that left leg, flexing the left foot. Shoulders dropped away from the ears. Engage the core. Long inhales and exhales. 2 more deep breaths. And slowly releasing and switching sides. I just noticed I'm in all of the comments, so I'm going to switch sides too. So this time, left ankle over right. Pressing the shoulders into the earth, draw that right leg in towards the body. Left elbows pushing the left thigh away for a deeper or hip stretch. Extend that right leg up, flex the right foot. With each exhale, maybe drawing the leg in just a little bit more. Long, slow inhales and exhales. Soften the jaw. One more deep breath here. And exhale. So we were talking, I'm going to show you both ways for this leg stretch, especially when I'm working with Anna's cross-country team. I haven't worked with their track team. Well, you know, nobody's working with anybody's teams a whole lot right now. So when I work with them, I try to introduce the strap. You can find anything to use with this, and then I'll show you without the strap because I didn't give you a lot of prep time for that. So starting with the right foot, I'm going to put the ball of the right foot into the strap. Extend the left leg out straight. So with the strap, you can just draw the leg just a tiny bit more, and then without the strap, just holding on to right behind the thigh. So with the strap, you just have a little bit more, like a deeper stretch, I think. So then taking that right leg off to the left side, pressing that right hip into the earth. So we want both hips and both shoulders pressed into your mat right now. And really be mindful when you're taking your right leg to the left-hand side, listen to your body. This should not be painful. It should feel like an amazing stretch. If it feels painful or if you're getting any twinge in the knee, just soften the knee. Nice and slow. Deep inhales and exhales. That breath is going to bring a little bit more stillness and calm. It's going to relax the body just that much more. Coming back to center, and then slowly, because I know I've got some teenagers on right now, slowly opening the right leg to the right-hand side. Both shoulders pressed into the mat. Both hips pressed into the mat. Nice and slow, open that right leg up. Really feel like you're rotating the whole left side down, drawing the belly button in to engage the core. Soften the jaw, continue to breathe. And then again with the strap, you just have a little bit more room to move. Slowly coming back to center, engage the core, slowly lower that right leg all the way down. And maybe shake it out. Switching sides. Extend the left leg up. Slowly start drawing that left leg in towards the body. Engage the core. Shoulders and hips pressed into the earth. Long, slow inhales and exhales. Slowly lower the left leg to the right-hand side, pushing that left hip back to the earth. Engaging the core. One more breath. Coming back to center. Slowly opening the left leg to the left-hand side. Now rotating the right shoulder and the right hip towards the earth. Engage the core. Listen to your body. This should feel good, not bad. Long inhales and exhales. One more breath. And then slowly coming back to center. Engage the core, lower that leg all the way down. Draw both knees in towards the body. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe even a kind word about yourself today. Holding on to the knees, rolling the knees in one direction and the other. Sending both feet up towards the sky. Engage the core. Bring the fingertips right underneath the hips. And then along, ideally long. If you've had enough, you can make it a quick 10. But maybe a long 10 would feel good. Flex those feet. Engage the core. Nice and slow, lower the heels all the way down to the mat. Maybe a long count of 10. Nice and tight core. Shoulders away from the ears. Continue to breathe. And then once the heels hit the floor, shake out the whole body. And then slowly roll to one side, coming back up to a seated position. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Draw that belly button in just a little bit. Soften the skin of the face. Maybe close the eyes or bring the gaze right in front of where you are seated. Continuing deep breaths in, long, slow exhales. Deep breath in, expand the stomach, the ribs. Sip into the chest, hold. Long, slow exhales. Drawing the belly button all the way into the backbone. 2 more times, deep breath in. Hold at the top. Long, slow exhale. One last time, inhale, expand the stomach, the ribs, sip into the chest, hold. And then drain the breath from the chest, the ribs, bringing the belly button into the backbone. Wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. And taking just a moment to give gratitude for everything that your body can do, everything that your body is capable of doing. Give gratitude for everything that your mind is capable of doing. Knowing we have very little control over what is happening right now, but the control that we do have comes from our response. So holding on to that breath to calm yourself, not being afraid of stillness, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, and creating a pause before we speak, a pause before we act. So bringing the fingertips down towards the earth, slowly opening the eyes, inhaling one last time to gather up this beautiful energy you help create into the palms of your hands. Exhaling to heart center, thumbs to the heart, reminding us we are all connected to each other by no mistakes. So even though I can't see all y'all, I'm so grateful that I get to share a little bit of what works for me, what works for my kids. It is a joy and a blessing to be able to share a little bit of yoga and stretching and meditation and mindfulness and the important breath that can calm us down when we're feeling a little bit untethered or a little anxious. So may you be safe. May you be well. May you be at ease, and may you find peace. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel amazing after the stretch. And then just keep checking back to my business page. I try to load my schedule on Sundays, and anytime we go live, you just go right to Kidding Around Yoga with Tina. A lot of times I'll take these videos and also upload them to my YouTube channel, which is crazy that I have a YouTube channel, but I'm slowly trying to add material. So if you can't join us live, you can always watch from the business site, Kidding Around Yoga with Tina, or check out my YouTube channel as well. So thank you guys so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. It's Wednesday if you've forgotten. So April 1st, Wednesday, try and keep up if you can. Maybe take a nap too if you need one. All right, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.